Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Look at these freaking multiflora real quick. Today I'm going to tell you about some houseplants that you probably didn't know that existed. These plants are either brand new to the market or they're just really uncommon and you've never heard of them before. I don't have that many to show you, but the ones that I do have to show you are so worth it. If possible, please watch this whole video, like and subscribe if you haven't already yet, and also check out my YouTube memberships. It's a pretty fun time. Come hang out with us. So I really tried hard, you guys, to find 10 plants. So I could be like 10 plants you've never heard of before. I couldn't. And I spent 2 weeks looking at plants for this video. So I'm gonna show you what I was able to find. And some of these are really cool and I've actually added some plants to my wish list. Also, I feel like you guys are always waiting for me to say something really insightful about these plants, like give you tips or like what can you find it for, blah, blah, blah. But like this video is literally just gonna be me gushing over these really cool plants and showing you them because they're really cool. So the first plant I wanna talk about is the Philodendron Red Anderson. This plant is at the top of my wish list currently. I don't know what it is, don't know what makes it, but it looks like a pink princess but with white. It also has a really, really interesting looking stem as well. This plant has a price tag, let me tell you. This plant goes anywhere from like 500, cheapest I've seen it, for a node, an unrooted node, up to like $2,000 or $3,000 for a full plant. They are expensive. They're so expensive. I don't know why they're so expensive, but this plant, I feel like I became aware of it like 2 weeks ago when I was scrolling through Facebook and I was like, whoa, Red Anderson. And it's not a new plant. It's not like, oh, it was just created or blah, blah, blah. It's just like, it's not a plant that you're normally gonna see online in listings. It's like, people have been obsessing over it though. In one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, there's like ISO Red Anderson or show me the Red Andersons you have, they're not for sale. Like, you know, things like that. And so it's kind of becoming a lot more popular. I think it's always been more of an expensive plant. I don't know, but I really want one now and it's really cool looking. And you might not have ever heard of this plant before, but it's the Philodendron Red Anderson and it's really pretty. Okay, this next plant I'm going to tell you about is the Philodendron Felix, and this is a plant that we actually saw the other day on an online houseplant shopping video. There was a listing and I was like, whoa, I've never heard of this before. It kind of looks like a hybrid. This plant is iconic. I said that it looked like a UPI mixed with like a billy tie. It actually is more like a tenue, Philodendron tenue mixed with an Adabapoense is what I've changed my mind to. And I think it's like shiny, it's dark, it's beautiful. There's not that many photos of it even on Instagram. If you search it in Instagram tags, like only like I think 20 photos. It's like a newer plant and I don't know like where it came from, what happened to it, like who is she, where's she come from, but she's here now and we can appreciate her and we can love her because she's beautiful. This next plant I'm gonna show you is Syngonium Strawberry Ice. I discovered this plant when one of my friends bought one and they sent us photos and they were like, hey, which one should I get? And I had never seen this Syngonium before, but it seems to be the strawberry shake of Syngoniums. It's one of the most expensive Syngoniums I've seen. If you look up listings, it can be quite exorbitantly expensive. They're really neat looking. Some of them look kind of muddy from my experience, which is like the same thing with the shake. So like they really seem to be like this alternate universe where like a Philodendron is a Syngonium and it's like just as popular. But the strawberry ice is pretty neat. These aren't quite as expensive as strawberry shakes because I don't think Syngoniums are like that expensive, but there are some really nice large ones that you can find on Facebook that are going for quite a little bit of money. I'm not a huge fan of Syngonium, but I do appreciate the look of this plant. I recently got a Syngonium pink freckles, which I bought as a ruby something and it ended up being not a ruby, it ended up being the pink freckles, and I really, really like that plant. Some strawberry ices look really, really nice, but others of them don't, and so for this plant, you like just really make sure you're getting one that you want. A lot of people get like name tag envy, which is where you're like, oh, this is a blah, blah, blah. I really want one of these. I'm just gonna buy this one. Plants like this where they can look like pretty much any different, like they can be muddy, they can be just pink, they can be pink, white, blah, blah, blah. Like make sure you're buying one that you actually like and don't get like shock when you just like see it somewhere. Next one I want to talk to you about is actually a plant that I have. This is a very unique peperomia. This is a peperomia tuberariensis or tuberensis, and it looks like this. So on the surface, it might look kind of similar to a Peperomia frost, and it does have a similar growth pattern, but this plant is like dwarf in comparison. So if you can see through there, you can see that it's very short stems and very tiny. There's some older leaves on here that weren't as variegated, but then you see ones like this, and it's actually putting out a couple baby leaves currently that are also just as shiny. Again, it's gonna be hard for you to see it, but this is a Peperomia I did not know existed that, again, was sent to me. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna include an extra special Peperomia in there for you because this person just like really loves Peperomia and collects them. And they sent me this. And it is just so, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's one of the most, like, it's really just silver, you guys. It looks like 3M. Like, you could put this on you at night and you'd be safe to walk home. So Peperomia tuberculensis, very unique, very weird guy. They even sent it to me in like a special little cloche, and they were like, it'll do fine in there, just keep it in there. So I've been listening to them, and I do keep it in here. But what a weird Peperomia, right? Like, normally when you see Peperomia that are like that, they are like sold at the freaking like Target or like a Walmart, and they're just like Peperomia frost or blah 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 blah. But then there's special Peperomia out there. I don't know, Peperomia tuberculensis, maybe you're into it, maybe you're not, but you probably hadn't heard of it before. Okay, so this next plant we're gonna talk about is Monstera Oceana. And here it is. This plant belongs to Monstera King on Instagram, and I'm gonna link them in the description. But, so I know what you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna look for that pattern now when I'm out. But this plant is very special, and I'm gonna tell you why. This person is the only person that owns them. I don't know if they've done any private sales yet, but I think they're just starting to roll out sales. But this plant is very special. You will not find Monstera Oceana unless you buy it from this person. I really want you guys to hear me say that. Do not go out and find some weird looking Monstera, because there is Monstera contorta. And this person, I believe, got hold of this Monstera because they were looking for a contorta. But then they got this, and this is not contorta. They also have had tons of testing done on this plant to make sure it's like not sick with anything. And when he sells these plants to you, he'll sell it with the paperwork proving that it's not sick with anything. It just looks like this. And I did get permission, by the way, to talk about his plant specifically, but a lot of people now, whenever they see like a really weird looking Monstera albo, they're like, oh, that's an Oceana, and it is absolutely not. The only time you're ever gonna find an Oceana is if you were to buy it from Monstera King. I just want you guys to know that. But this plant is really cool because it doesn't look like most Monstera albos, as I'm sure you can tell. It looks very different. It's kind of interesting. It almost looks like, again, like it's sick. It's very peculiar, and they have many different kinds. Here's some other photos. Wow, right? Anyways, Monstera Oceana, if you haven't heard of it, now you have. Very cool, very neat. But don't go around saying that you found an Oceana spore at the store, because you didn't.
So something else I wanted to mention was that this is a seed grown sport. This is a plant that Monstera King grew and discovered, and while other people might claim that they have something that's similar, you're not gonna have an Oceana unless it's verified with like paperwork that it's not sick, that it has no viruses. This plant is completely clean. It's just what it looks like, and it is super duper cool. Also, I found another plant. So I filmed that video a while ago, and this Scindapsus that's green and yellow at the bottom of this Steve Sleeves photo is Scindapsus Pictus Hassk. And I've never heard of it before this moment. I've never seen it before, but that is how Steve Sleeves described it in their comment section. So this is a plant that exists, and I cannot believe that it exists, and I am going to try my hardest to get one before it becomes like hype, because oh my gosh, it just looks like the orchids I love.
Okay, and this last one I want to talk about, just because I want to clear up some stuff. I have been talking out of my butthole lately. I was aware of the Pink Princess Dark Cherry, but what I was not aware of was that the only person who's been able to harness the Dark Cherry is Enid from NAACP Tropicals. If you're referring to Philodendron that are just really, really, really dark as a Dark Cherry, unless it's from Enid, it's not a real Dark Cherry, like Monstera Oceana with Monstera King. However, there are a lot of really cool looking dark philodendron, like dark philodendron pink princesses. Honestly, like it's so hard to know, like maybe other people have been able to like get their pink princesses to do the same thing, but I want to talk specifically about these ones because these ones are really cool. It's literally like almost black leaves and then bright hot pink variegation. Very unique, kind of interesting. These plants are hard to get a hold of, which is so interesting to me because sometimes they really just look like a reverted pink princess, but then they'll throw out pink out of nowhere and it's like, okay, how did you do that?
Enid, in a post on her Instagram, actually said that this plant has thicker and darker leaves and overall is a more robust plant than the pink princess. So it's possible that it is actually a completely different plant than the pink princess and not just a darker version, which is actually so cool.
But yeah, so that's the dark cherry, and as far as I know, it is only cultivated by Enid from NSE and she'll sell them occasionally. But don't run around saying that you have pink princess cherry red because you don't, unless you bought it from Enid, and then you do. Like I said, I wish I had more unusual plants to show you or tell you about. I really tried to look up some plants I'd never seen before that I think might be like kind of popular or become popular, but it's really hard to find like newer plants that are coming out. So yeah, I don't know. But thanks for hanging out with me and kind of like oohing and ahhing over these plants with me. I think that they're really special. I would love to own every single one of these plants. Like they're all on my wish list except for the turboensis, which I have. But yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with the Felix, with the red Anderson. Oh my gosh, I want a red Anderson so bad now. It's like the new thing for me. I'm like, red Anderson? Red Anderson? Monstera Oceana is really nice as well. Maybe I'll trade them at some point in Ilsmanii or one. I would love that. Anyways, go check out Monstera King on Instagram as well as all the other people who I took their gorgeous photos of to show you under the fair use. I need to have photos to show you these things I'm talking about because I'm educating you on these new plants. So go check out all these Instagram accounts down below and especially Monstera King, who is letting me use his exclusive photos of his Monstera Oceana. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. Please make sure you hit like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at PlantMeAshley as well. Also, I have YouTube channel memberships, which you can check out by hitting that join button. Come join the family. It's so fun. It's a great time. It's a wonderful experience, I think. Come hang out. We have a workout section, we have a mental health section, we have an LGBTQ+ section, we have a pet section, a project section, a YouTuber section. Maybe you make videos or you want to help promote like other people. Come hang out. We got amazing people, and thank you so much for our extra channel supporters, the Planted Cauliflower, All the Green Places, Botanicas, and Carissa Lawrence. Welcome to the family, Carissa. So nice to have you. Very happy to have you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if you know of any unusual houseplants in the comment section down below. I'd love to learn more about other plants that I've never heard of before. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next houseplant section. Bye. Bye!